Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's D. We got a video here from Donut. This is the Mustang, everything you need to know up to speed. And yeah, man, we're just gonna get right into this video. Check out this everything we need to know about Mustangs, bro. I don't know the whole story of the Mustang, to be honest. So this should be pretty interesting right here. For sure.
Launched a new age of American sports car that continues to this day. It's more American than football, apple pie, and blissfully wasteful consumerism combined. It's also very likely that you've owned one or know someone who owned one. It's the Ford Mustang. Here's everything you need to know to get up to speed on the Ford Mustang.
The Ford Mustang.
Let's get something out of the way right now. The Mustang is not a muscle car, or at least it didn't start out. When first sold in 1964, the Mustang was offered with 4 engines. The biggest being a 289 cubic inch V8, making a respectful 271 horsepower. Not exactly setting the world on fire, but that wasn't the point of the Mustang. The vice president of Ford Motor Company at the time, Lee Iacocca, wanted to give the American consumer a car that weighed under 2,500 pounds for under 2,500 bucks. He also wanted to design and produce the car in a year and a half. This kind of timeline was unheard of back then and would still be impressive today. Iacocca saw an untapped market for a 4-seat, 2-door sports car, and he wanted to get it to market before anyone else. To save money on design and production costs, Ford used the chassis from the Falcon, their family sedan. Now, according to Iacocca, the Mustang's iconic long hood and short deck.
Well, it looks like a giant Johnson.
I said deck. Were inspired by European cars of the era.
Stupid.
Iacocca also credited the Chevy Corvair Monza with the idea of including bucket seats and a floor-mounted shifter. He debuted the Mustang at the 1964 World's Fair in Flushing Meadows, New York, and on the very same day, dealerships opened their doors with the new car in their showrooms. That's insane.
It's insane.
Ford dealers sold 22,000 Mustangs on the very first day. A huge part of
22,000
success was Ford's marketing campaign towards young baby
Dang.
boomers. This was, of course, before they ruined the world. The youthful flocked to the dealerships to get their hands on the sportiest cars around. The Mustang's launch could not have been better. The only thing stopping Ford from selling more Mustangs was their ability to build more of them. Ford pumped out 1,200 cars a day, and even
1,200 cars, bro.
In its first year of production, Ford sold over 400,000 Mustangs and made over $1 billion.
That's outrageous.
It was undeniable.
That's outrageous.
The Mustang was a success. All right, boom, back to the facts. In 1965, a man with a girl's name.
My name's Carol Shelby, and performance.
Hey, rest in peace, Carol Shelby.
Carol Shelby had a dream, literally. He woke up in the middle of the night.
The GOAT.
Wake up!
And wrote down a name. He woke up the next morning and saw Cobra scrawled across his notepad. Shelby modified it to make 35 more horsepower, and then he put it back in his 65 Mustang. Then he gave it blue racing stripes. It was the birth of a legend. The GT
Oh yes, the racing stripes.
Race car for the street, and that wasn't just a marketing gimmick. The car actually competed in the SCCA production B class and ended up winning the championship 3 years in a row. The hype was real, and in true race car fashion, Shelby offered the car for nearly double the price of a normal Mustang.
Sold it for double the price.
The Shelby name would forever be tied to the Mustang, and it continues today. In 1967, the Mustang got a major facelift with the introduction of the new Fastback. Sure, the Fastback had been an option since '65.
Bro, that Fastback,
the '67 design was
beautiful.
An instant classic. The sweeping lines of the new model were the perfect mix of American aggression and sex appeal.
Hell yes.
The grill had a bigger opening, like a shark waiting to strike. The taillights were now concave, and the Fastback reached all the way.
Iconic taillights, bro. Real iconic.
And it still stands out as one of the best-looking American cars ever. The legacy of cool was cemented in 1968 with the release of Bullitt, starring the coolest guy in the world, Steve McQueen. Bullitt features an iconic car chase between a '68 Charger and a '68 Mustang driven by McQueen through the streets of San Francisco. Steve McQueen did a fair amount of his own driving for the scene, as he was an accomplished driver. You can actually tell when he's driving by looking at the rearview mirror in the shot. If it's down, he's driving. If it's up, it's one of his stunt drivers. So now it's 1969, and the American muscle craze is in full swing. Ford's rivals are swinging for the fences with their new designs. The Camaro, the Charger, the AMC Javelin are all giving the Mustang a run for its money. So what does Ford do? They go supersonic. Ford announced the Mach 1, an absolute
The
Showstopper
Mach
featuring
1,
a
baby.
matte black hood, front splitter, hood pins, and the crown jewel, a 428 cubic inch race engine known as the Cobra Jet. Cobra Jet, poisonous snake, and jet.
Yeah, that's badass.
If you wanted the ultimate street racing machine, Ford had you covered. Well, Ford was updating
Love the hood
Mustang
pins,
with
man.
new and interesting looks. Gas became expensive. Nobody wanted to buy cars with giant engines anymore. They simply couldn't afford to fill them up. So what did Ford do? Did they A, discontinue the Mustang line until it made sense to bring it back? Or B, fundamentally change the Mustang to conform to market trends until it was no longer recognizable and sullied its good name in the process? B. They went with B. The new Mustang, now called the Mustang 2, shared zero components with the previous models. The Mustang 2, its sister car was the Pinto. The Pinto, man. The f***ing Pinto, dude. The Ford. In 1974, the Mustang was not available with a V8 option. Instead, consumers could choose between an inline-4 and a V6, neither of which made any power.
Dang.
However, this didn't stop the Mustang 2 from leaving the dealership. Ford sold nearly 300,000 Mustang 2s that year, making it the 6th best-selling Mustang ever. For the rest of the 70s, Ford tacked on aesthetic upgrades to the Mustang and even offered a Cobra package in honor of the original Shelby Cobra. But these were nothing more than appearance packages. Ford updated the Mustang yet again in the early 80s with their
Fox
new
body.
Fox unibody chassis. And they even experimented with turbocharged engine arrangements, but sales were slumping. Ford proposed replacing the Mustang with a front-wheel drive design they had borrowed from Mazda. Mustang fans flooded Ford with letters in protest, demanding that they keep the Mustang alive. Ford responded by keeping the original pony car and naming the new car the Probe. 1987 saw a renewed and refreshed Mustang. The 302 cubic inch or 5-liter engine got new forged aluminum pistons and some bitchin' new cylinder heads, which made it great for modifications. The Mustang was back. The 5.0 Fox body is still a solid choice for anyone looking for a great project car. There is a huge aftermarket.
I love
You can
Fox
build a
bodies.
Fox body for nearly any need. You want to go drag racing? Cool. Drifting? It can do it. Just want to tear up the canyon? The Fox body is for you. The 90s arrived.
Man, that thing's
So
for
did
everything.
The fresh prints and the SN95 body style. It was rounder and sportier looking than the previous gen. Starting in 1996, the Mustang was no longer offered with the 302 Windsor, the motor that in many different configurations had powered the Mustang since 1967. Rest in peace, Windsor.
Goodbye.
This is the Mustang that I remember from high school. They're okay. SN95 was slower, looked like an amoeba, dickheads drove them. If you were a girl in 1996 that had rich parents, they probably bought you a convertible V6 SN95 for graduation in teal. I still remember.
Straight
Next
flexing.
up was the new Edge redesign in 1999. It had some really cool versions. Both the SVT Cobra and the Terminator had supercharged engines and independent rear suspension, and the SVT Cobra had a giant wing.
Dang, look at that
and
wing.
It's going to be a definite collector's car. The new 2005 Mustang looked like the old Mustang.
This is what the people wanted.
197 design was a direct evolution of
Yes,
the
sir.
iconic Mustang lines of the
Still one of the
60s.
best
You might be
looking
a little
ones.
numb to them now because these Mustangs are everywhere. But when it debuted, everyone agreed that this was a great looking car. The throwback styling was a huge success, setting off a retro trend in the auto industry for years to come. Chevy and Dodge responded with retro designs of their own, and they've all sold really, really well. The updated 4.6-liter engine now made 310 horsepower. And for the first time in Mustang's history, the S197 was its own platform. It only shared random parts with a Lincoln, which is like a nice Ford, so who cares? In 2010, Ford updated the Mustang again with refreshed body panels, giving it a new look. The next year, Ford unveiled the new but familiar 5-liter Coyote V8 to replace the
Yes,
old.
sir.
Coyote produced 412 horsepower and 390 foot-pounds of torque from the factory, all for around $30,000. It went around the Nürburgring faster than an M3. The Germans were
Woo.
not happy.
Faster than an M3.
2013 saw Carol
Hey,
Shelby's
yo, what
song, his
was that
final
clip?
GT500. Mr. Shelby passed away in 2012, but he gave design input
Rest in
on
peace to the
car
GOAT.
in his final years, like the true gearhead he was. The GT500 made 662 horsepower and had a top speed of 202 miles an hour. Nowadays, when people think about monster horsepower from the factory, they usually bring up the SRT Hellcat, but Shelby did it first. The latest redesign came in 2015. Now the Mustang is a little wider and a little lower. You'll be hard pressed to find a better looking car for the money. And even though it's starting to look a little curvy again, the look is undeniably Mustang. And one more thing, independent rear suspension back, baby. Yes, Ford decided the world was ready for a great handling Mustang. Welcome to the 21st century, Ford. It could be argued that we are experiencing a renaissance of affordable power, and we have the Mustang to thank for a lot of that. We don't even blink when a new car makes 300 horsepower. When 15 years ago, that would be pretty impressive. Now you can buy an American car with 4 seats that gets 30
Now we're
miles
up
a
to
gallon
freaking
and sounds
1,000
like
horsepower.
this. All
With the
for around
Demon, the
30
new
grand.
ZR1.
That's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It's crazy.
The Mustang created its own class, and chances are, if there's a car that you love, it's great because at one point it had to compete with a Mustang. And with strong rumors of hybrid and even EV Mustangs in development, you can rest assured that Ford's Mustang will be setting the bar for years to come. This is everything you need to know to get up to speed on the Ford Mustang. The Mustang has
Bro, that was
such a
fire.
history that we're gonna have to do a second part for this one, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yo, that was dope. Shout out to Donut. I'm gonna leave the link to the original video in my description. Hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did enjoy, please make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know some other videos to go ahead and react to. And I hope you guys have a good and blessed day. Peace out.